Hey, it's the radio guy Mike Prince. Welcome back to a special episode of the Mike Prince Show. We got two other guys that are going to be joining me on to this week for our picks of the week for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. I am going to introduce to you guys Benjamin Edwards and Jack White. Guys, how you doing today?
Lovely, sir. Lovely. Ready to go. Ready to
Great.
go.
All right, ready to go. Now, the unique thing about this, these guys are PV graduates just like myself, and we happen to have another attraction. We happen to be brothers of our beloved Phi Beta Sigma. Go Mob, gentlemen.
Move forward. Go Mob.
Ah, there you go. All right, so here's how it's going to go, guys. We're going to get together. We're going to run through the games of this week. We also have an over-under game of the week that Ben is going to present to us. Jack is going to lay out the games. We're going to give our picks, and we'll roll through this and let you guys agree or disagree with our picks of the week. Jack, take it away, sir.
All right. We're going to start with the early game at 2:30, which is Bethune-Cookman versus University of Miami. I'm definitely going with the Hurricanes on this one. It's going to be a slaughter. I think they're water, and it's called Bethune goes down early.
Bethune-Cookman will come up short. Hopefully it's not a slaughter because they have to play the rest of the season. But I do get what you mean by that, Jack. This is definitely a Power 5 program with the Hurricanes and Bethune-Cookman being FCS. It's a payday for them guys. Hopefully they'll win on both sides. Well, three sides. Maybe they can get the win. Some say not. We say not in this case. They'll get paid and no injuries for the rest of the season. So we're all in agreement with Bethune coming up short against the Hurricanes. What's the next one on the slate, Jack?
The next game on the slate is Miles College versus Alabama State. Here, I'm going with Alabama State. I think they will open up the season on fire at home.
I'm not too impressed with what I saw with Alabama State, so I'm going to go with a shocker. I'm going to pick Miles College.
Oh, ho, ho. I like old Ben stepping out there deep end of the water. Miles, okay, well, we got a split right now. Well, I guess, yeah, we do have a split right now. And I'm going to be the tiebreaker. I'm going to roll with Alabama State coming out, taking care of business. They look good in their opening game, and I don't see them stumbling too hard against Miles, and they'll end up 2-0 at the end of this week.
All right, our next matchup, Stephen F. Austin at Alcorn State. A similar situation, I think Alcorn State, the season opener at home, I think they will be motivated and fired up to start the season off with a win.
I'm gonna go with Alabama. I'm gonna go with Alcorn. From what I saw with Stephen F. Austin, I think Coach McNair saw enough. Their offense is very limited, other than that wide receiver, so they could double him. So I'm gonna go with Alcorn also.
Okay, we're going to roll that trifecta. We're going with that other purple and gold. I think Alcorn will be able to take care of Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin in the middle of some changes. They're in the WAC right now. They made that exodus from the Southland, and they're kind of in the no man's land right now. And I think that Alcorn, especially playing at home, should be able to pull out the win.
All right, our next matchup, Florida Memorial University versus Southern at Southern. I'm going with Southern at home on the season opener. Coach Dooley's first game back at Southern. I think they will be fired up as well to start the season off right.
I don't know anything about Florida, so I know I don't like Southern. So I'm picking everybody Florida Memorial University, and I hope they roll through Southern like it's just the swamp.
Oh,
so I'm going with Florida.
Okay, well, if Southern loses to Florida Memorial, Coach Dooley's going to have to go into witness protection program.
That would be fine.
It says this is an NAIA program. This is going to be an extended version of practice. I don't see Southern stumbling at all at this event. Southern Jags are going to roll. And so say they hope they roll. They're going to need a hurricane of a huge magnitude in order to pull this one off. Southern all the way in this one.
All right, our next matchup, we have Lane versus Arkansas Pine Bluff at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Here I'm going to go against the grain. Don't know too much about Lane, but I've heard that they can compete. So I'm going to say Lane comes into Pine Bluff and gets a upset win.
Wow. I'm going to go back to my old roots since I'm from East Texas. And I'm going to go with Arkansas Pine Bluff with this one. I think it'll be close, but I think the Bluff, they'll win it. 21-20.
Okay, you know what, Ben? I'm thinking along the same lines as you. Lane is going to be a bit of a surprise to those who are not aware about Lane, but I think because Pine Bluff is at home, they got a little bit something to prove, and whispers coming from the Bluff is that Doc Gamble seat is getting a tad bit warm, shall we say. I don't believe that, but I think it's going to be enough motivator for the Golden Lions to pull out the home victory.
All right, our next matchup, Grambling versus Arkansas State. I'm going with Arkansas State on this one. Just don't believe Grambling has enough to compete with Arkansas State, and new coaching, a lot of new things in Grambling. So I just chalk this one up as a L for Grambling.
Again, it's just something about that boot I just don't like. So if Grambling could lose a couple players on this game, I would be really happy. I'm going with Arkansas State, 50-0.
He say, well, you are anti-Louisiana, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I tell you what, I don't really think that Grambling will win this game. It will be a slight step up for them, but I'm interested to see how this offense, which had been in a downward spiral for the past few seasons, and I want to see how they're going to respond under Hugh Jackson and his offensive expertise that he brings to the table. I think Arkansas State will win this game, but I don't know about 50-0. But I think Grambling will be able to put some points on the board.
All right, in our marquee matchup, the Labor Day Classic, Texas Southern at Prairie View. Me definitely being a homer, definitely going with Prairie View. I like the energy that I'm seeing from the new coaching staff. Just things I've read on Facebook and so forth. I think it's a sellout because tickets are going fast and everything. So I believe Prairie View's gonna show up and prove. So I got Prairie View winning this one easy.
Well, this one was a little hard one for me. As you know, my house is divided. My wife went to Texas Southern. I went to Prairie View. And I've never seen her as excited as she's been this particular football season. So I had to tell her to bag up. Yeah. So, of course, I'm picking Prairie View. I'm thinking it's going to be like 31-20 Prairie View.
Okay. Your wife has a lot to be excited for. They have a phenomenal young quarterback in the name of Andrew Body. They're really going to be leaning on him to be the difference maker for this Texas Southern season. There are a couple of factors. By the way, I am picking Prairie View to win this game, but there are a couple of factors that I think need to go without mention, and that is the weather. It's going to be a 60% chance of thunderstorms, not just rain, but thunderstorms at kickoff. This is a late kickoff, 6 p.m. kickoff, And I think that's going to be a factor in the scoring. On my daily show, I have the over-under at 41, and I chose the under on this one. I believe Prairie is going to win by the score of 24-14. With this being the first game for both teams, a little adjustment for the Panthers with the leadership flowing and going of Bubba McDowell. I think it's going to be enough in the tank for the Panthers to make this the 8th consecutive Labor Day Classic win.
Wow.
All right. And our last matchup for week 1, we got FAMU at Jackson State. So here, even with everything going on in Mississippi with water flooding and so forth, and all the issues of moving the players to hotels and so forth, and everything that Coach Sanders is mentioning that are issues, I'm still thinking Jackson State is going to pull together and pull out a W in this game against a rival, the FAMU.
I agree. I actually think Coach Prime has been praying to the gods. I'm not going to say he prayed about the water issue, but he did pray that Florida A&M would lose apparently a lot of players. And with that number one or that projected NFL linebacker not being able to play, that should take a lot of pressure off his son. So I have an over and under of 55. I'm actually thinking it's going to probably be 40-15 Jackson State.
Wow. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be the odd man out on this one. When I say the perfect storm, Coach Sanders has really, to me, laid out everything. He has let it be known, and it obviously and need to be known about the water crisis that's been going on in Jackson, Mississippi. And one thing that I really think that people need to pay close attention to, this is not an HBCU problem. This is the state of Mississippi problem. But, people want to tag, say, well, the HBCUs don't even have water. No, this is the state of Mississippi. So let's get all that out and in the open. But why I say he's laying the perfect foundation in the event that Jackson State does come up short, which I think they will, he says, because he laid it out there, we got 2 opponents this week, the Floods and the Rattlers. I believe the Rattlers will win this game. Now, Ben, I heard you make mention of an over-under of 55. Is this going to be our over-under game of the week?
Correct. This will be the over-under game, and I have it set at 55.
You have it set at 55. And, you're saying that Jackson's going to win 40-15. Jack, what is your agreement of the over-under for 55? You believe it's going to be over or under, sir?
Actually, I believe it's going to be under, just because of the issues that Coach Prime had mentioned, moving to different hotels and so forth. I think that can be, a wear and tear on the players. So I'm going with the under.
You're going with the under. And I'm going to go with the under as well. 55 points in mid-season, I could possibly see that. Another factor about this game, it's going to be highly competitive and much tension. This is the Eastern version of the Prairie View, Texas Southern. These guys are projected to be 1 and 2. Some say FAMU number 1, some say Jackson number 1. Tomato, tomato, you pick your poison. And we know the factors of Prairie View, Texas Southern. With that being said, whoever wins this game is going to pretty much be in the driver's seat for the Eastern Division. I think Coach Simmons is up for the task. Yes, he's got a lot on his plate, just as Jackson has a lot on their plate. But I think that they'll find a way to rally. This game was 7-6 last year. If they scored 30 points among the both of them, I'll be saying wow. But that's my final answer, gentlemen. And I really think we're in tune and set for some great football this weekend. Now, before we shut this segment out, would there be any closing thoughts or comments from either one of you guys?
Yes, I have one closing comment. This is Benjamin. I just want all of the people from Louisiana just to stop calling me. I was just joking. I don't want anything to happen to Southern or Grambling. It's just the fact that I want you to be in third place behind Prairie. So, nothing personal. Show up. You don't have to get blown out, but lose the game.
Brother Jack?
Let's see. The only comment I have or PSA is these games, like the Labor Day Classic, Texas Southern Prairie View, will be on ESPN Plus. Alabama State game will be on ESPN Plus as well. And then the Grambling Arkansas State on ESPN3. So just wanted to give a little PSA for all the HBCU fans out there to just tune into ESPN and watch some of these games.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I would wish you luck, but I really don't mean it. I want to come out on top. And Jack, you're going to be the official tally for this, right? And if you could you give us a recap of who's picked who so we can know where it stands? Because Brother Ben will, act like he didn't recall saying anything. That's why we have to record all these sessions and everything. So, Jack, could you run up and down that list, or do you have time to do that, sir?
Let's see here. I think we all agreed that Miami will beat Bethune-Cookman. We also all agreed that Alabama State would beat Miles College. Oh, no, let's see. Ben, did you take
Ben with Miles College? Yeah, Ben with Miles College.
That's right. Ben with Miles College. Prince and myself went with Alabama State. Okay. And then we all agreed on Alcorn State beating Stephen F. Austin. Ben chose Florida Memorial. Anyone who plays against Southern.
Right. That's going to be, that's going to be 11 weeks of anti-Southern. We can feel that already.
Right. So Prince and I chose Southern. And then on Lane versus Arkansas Pine Bluff, I think I was the only one that went with Lane. Prince and Benjamin went with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Let's see. Arkansas State. Help me out, gentlemen.
Arkansas, I know I picked Arkansas State. All three of us picked Arkansas State on that one.
Yeah. Okay, we all three picked on that one. Okay. And then lastly, FAMU Jackson State. So
and I was the odd man.
Ben and myself chose Jackson State, and the odd man on this one is Prince.
And of course, we're all in agreement for Prairie View over Texas Southern, right?
Exactly.
It's definitely hands down, no question. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Well, look, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for joining in with us, and thank you guys for listening to this special segment of our SWAC Pick'ems. We plan to try to do this throughout the course of the season. Would love to hear your feedback and response of what you think of our picks. Do you agree with our picks? Do you disagree with our picks? You can always call in on the 24-hour dial-in message line. It's 713-570-6736. And if you happen to be listening by way of YouTube, you can always leave your comments in the comments section on the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We are going to sign off for right now. Our time has run down, and we must say farewell until the next time. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. And once again, subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. hit the bell notification. That time, anything that's being released, you will not be left behind. And be sure to visit the website at obnradio.com. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.